Alright, okay. Alright guys, so you have selected your two trees. So we've got two trees here in Beaver Forest Park. So they're roughly between 2 and 3 paces apart. So we've got 1, 2, 3, roughly 3 paces apart. Now, first thing that you should do is attach your feeder to the tree that is south facing. So yeah, grab your hammer and bits and bobs and we'll stick it up. Now, when you've chosen a south-facing side of a tree to stick the feeder, just simply put it about head height. We don't want it any higher, simply because it will be difficult to attach the feeder to the tree. Now just hammer the nail into the tree. Don't hammer it all the way in, otherwise it's going to be really difficult to get the nail out of the tree. Now, just hang the feeder on, just like you're hanging a picture. And that's pretty much it. Whenever you're putting feed in the feeder, make sure you only put about, fill it to about 1/3, otherwise if you put too much food in then it's going to rot. Now before you leave as well, I'd like you to put some food on top of the feeder, on the little platform and round about the base here. Now, as I'm sure I've said to some of you already, it's probably a good idea to prop open the feeder, because that'll give a chance of any squirrels coming along actually getting access to the food. So just pop some food on the top, on the little platform, and then just simply spray it around the base. And that's that. Come back in 7 days and Bob's your uncle, hopefully. Right guys, okay, so you've got the camera. Before you attach it to the tree, just flick the bottom left hand corner switch to setup and just make sure that the battery's charged. So there should be at least one diagonal bar in there. Also double check that the time's okay. Here the date and times is okay, and make sure that you've put in an SD card in the bottom there, and make sure it goes and makes a little click when you push it in. If that's all okay and the batteries are in securely, just switch it off again, close it up, and then you have to attach the camera to the tree with the webbing first. So it goes. So if you just have it roughly pointing towards the feeder, so this camera is now north facing towards the south facing feeder. Okay. So just pull the two webbing straps as tight as you possibly can, and then just tie the loose material behind it. Now you can adjust the camera just by eye, just to see if it's pointing at the feeder. Now remember, it's got quite a wide field of view, so at this distance we shouldn't have any problem of picking up anything on the feeder. The closer you are, the smaller adjustments you make, the less chance you're likely to pick up what's on the feeder. So once it's attached to the tree, you need to attach the security bracket. Now hopefully you remember that the security bracket is the last thing that you attach to the tree, because it will not secure the camera to the tree and it will not be steady. This is only really to deter people from stealing it. So if you just feed it through the holes, and then remember to pop the other end of the lock where the arrow is pointing up. So pop that through, and then just remember to turn the lock, pull the key out, and just to make sure it's secure, just pull, and it shouldn't come away. You can feed it in to make it tighter, but it won't come out. If it does, whenever you pull it, come away, then either you've not locked it or you've put this end of the lead in the wrong end of the padlock. So before you walk away, just make sure that's nice and secure. Okay, so this is now attached to the tree, so you can basically switch this on. So just open it up and then push the bottom left hand button all the way to the top, and that's the camera set and ready to go. So hopefully you'll come back in 7 days and there'll be lots of little photos of animals, and hopefully not too many photos of random people on it. So that's cool. Last thing you should do is attach this little information leaflet to the security lock. Now you should all have these in little zip ties, so simply feed it through the hole and attach it to the lock. Okay. Now it's very important that you add this, because if somebody comes across and finds it, then it gives details of how to get in touch with me and get more information on the project, and hopefully that will reduce the number of acts of vandalism that occur. So, okay. It's also good to remember your camera recording form. So whenever you visit a site, put its name in the rows, the number on the camera, which is usually in the bottom left or the bottom right of the front of the camera, the day that you set it up, and the time that the camera was set up. Now, as I've said to you before, the time is important just in case the camera resets itself. It will reset to 000. So if that happens during the setup, we can work out roughly when the photos were taken. And also, whenever you come back in 7 days' time, record the date it was taken down and the time it was taken down. Now, additional information you can record is the rough height of the feeder, and also whether you've used a wooden or a metal feeder. Those little bits of information will be able to help us work out whether metal feeders are better at attracting pine martens, or whether wooden feeders are. So yeah, remember to record that information. And also, before you visit, ensure that you have all your health and safety documents and that you have read them beforehand, because we don't want any accidents to happen. So, but that should be enough for you.